that I could have a conversation with him, that he could be here with me, that he could have chosen me.
Trying to get a guy to commit or trying to see where things go, I indulged in hookup culture.
Why am I not good enough to date? If you want to hook up with me, why do you not want to date me? And then it's like, is it my personality? Am I that insufferable?
When I tell people that I've never officially been on a date with someone, they don't believe me. But to me, a date is like actually going to a nice restaurant that someone's planned, and I've never had that.
Clearly, I'm not doing something right.
If you do not want to be with her, just tell me.
When I was little, I really didn't think it was going to be this hard to find someone.
It's literally just so confusing and so stressful, and no one seems to really know what they actually want.
When, like, I don't know how to fix this.
I just want a family.
I had to come to terms with knowing that I'm not a woman that men commit to or love. They want, but I've never had any big romantic gestures.
So it happened again. I had a date cancel on me and I got stood up.
And I have been stood up.
I know I deserve better. But he was that person for me.
When you date these girls, you have to be very mentally aware. Where are you picking these girls up from? The majority of women on dating apps are completely not marriage material. The majority of those girls on dating apps, they are talking to multiple men, they're sleeping with multiple men, and that scrambles their eggs.
Women do things in the dating world that would impress other women, and not men. Things that most men find unattractive. And when men express their concerns, we are told that we are being controlling and insecure. What a man wants in a woman is completely dismissed, and we are just expected to accept any behavior and even gladly pay for it. Women are genuinely acting surprised that we men don't want to commit. Women can cheat on you without feeling anything about it and will think it's no big deal. But we men have to deal with the pain that comes with it. The majority of men get cheated on by most partners, and women don't understand why we can't commit. It's amazing what happens when you understand that you're the problem and work on what the problem is. It'll be hard to hear, and you might not think it's the problem. But if you just come to terms with it and improve yourself, not only will you be happier with yourself, but maybe a lot of problems will be fixed. No one ever considers maybe they're in the wrong anymore, but I guess that's not something modern women are ever going to get. Over the last decade, there has been an exponential growth in online dating. With advances in new and more interactive technologies, the number of people who now seek short and long-term partners online has also seen a rapid rise. One particular aspect of modern online dating is the rise of older women on these apps, who now have more digital methods to showcase their likes, features, and experiences. Women in their mid-30s and onwards are now flocking to online dating apps and websites to try their luck. These are women who have been so incredibly busy living their corporate lives that they didn't find the time to date when they were young and fertile. These are women who are busy having short-term flings with guys over the past 10 years, having a great time experiencing life going around the block. These are the women who have been divorced and are now single mothers. And also, these are the women who were never considered attractive by men, or were overweight, or just didn't receive any attention from men. All of these women, for their own particular reasons, are now online and seeking romance, short and hot flings, boyfriends, and husbands on these dating sites. The women who have only lived a corporate existence have only known how to rise up the ranks at their offices. They have mastered the art of negotiating. They're expert manipulators who have conquered office politics and know how to get under your skin to get what they want. Financially, they're settled. They're not heavily in debt, and they're not looking for a short-term commitment now. They're highly aware of their own biological clocks working against them. Mother Nature has kicked in, and their innate need to have babies and give birth has reached a boiling point, essentially compelling them to seek a man online. As you all know, women only date up. They don't look for men who are below their socio-economic status. So, these corporate women are now looking for good-looking men, preferably younger, who are highly successful and earn at least the same amount of money as themselves, or more. They're looking for a man who can come into their lives and fulfill their need to have children. The manipulation has already begun. They're not going to wait around for a guy who doesn't want to have children right away. They're women who are focused, and their focus is clear. The men who date them will get manipulated into expediting their agenda because they are seasoned negotiators who know how to persuade through their bodies and emotions. They know they only have a couple of years left to get pregnant, and they're going to bring their A game to the online dating table.
Women our age are more likely to be in relationships than men, which makes you think, who is everybody dating at the end of the day? If the women aren't dating the men, then...
What crosses my mind is I think there's perhaps two explanations. One, women in that age group are dating older men, 30 to 40. But I think the bigger thing is that women are maybe think they're in a relationships or are in a relationship, and they're sharing higher quality guys. So, and there's this concept called hypergamy. Women are all chasing after the top tier of men. So a lot of women are happier sharing a top tier guy than settling for a guy that's actually on their level.
Y'all, I think modern women ruin dating, and here's why. Let's get into it. Hookup culture. Women giving their bodies away to men that have not committed to them on any level. They've made relationships transactional, not being realistic. Now the majority of women want the minority of men, using tactics of shame and emasculating men to manipulate them in doing what they want them to do. Some men now are choosing to go their own way, not even trying to date in this modern dating culture. Ain't that a shame? A lot of good men not dating because they don't see value in this modern dating culture.
The hookup culture is damning evidence that there's something wrong in Western societies. Maybe, and just maybe, it isn't as oppressive as people think to start having arranged marriages like they do in the East. Just some food for thought. Today, men who are after stable relationships and go by the book regarding courting women and asking them out, avoiding one-night stands, and the hookup culture, they're the most unsuccessful men on the planet when it comes to relationships. But when a man becomes a Chad and lives by the pump-and-dump strategy, he's automatically a successful guy when it comes to women. One of the problems with today's culture is that instead of listening to the other person and feeling compassion and kindness, men and women are too busy trying to prove that they're better than the other group. So apparently, it's just more fun for singles of both genders to just laugh at the other's hardships and not offer any kind of suggestions to be able to meet somewhere closer to the middle. More than 20 years of experience have demonstrated the ability of many women in their early 30s to attract men. Whether they are as young as their early 20s or as old as their 50s and 60s, men have and always will want to date women in their prime. Numerous women have told me stories of being approached by shady 50-year-old men when they were in their mid-20s, and how, when they were 25 years old, high school lads would try to set them up on dates. The world is our oyster in this regard, but not the world of women. This is because women start to become valuable in their 20s when they reach their full adult potential. Men start to peak after their 30s, and their value only increases up until their 50s. Most women can easily attract the attention of men of any age when they are in their 20s, but beyond the age of 30 to 35, when their appearance starts to deteriorate, the attention of teenagers, 20-somethings, and even men of their age start to fade as they start to focus on younger women instead. Many women believe that the men in their age groups don't treat them fairly. Women who are 35 years old question why guys their age don't want to date and marry them. The truth of the matter is that a 35-year-old man with a job, money, and a car can entice younger, more attractive women in their 20s. Most men need a year or two to get to know a woman before becoming engaged and then getting married. As a result, if a guy marries a 35-year-old woman after going through this process, she won't give birth until she's 38, which will significantly reduce her odds of having children. Women mature earlier than men when they are teenagers because they have historically had a reproductive advantage when it comes to passing on their genes. This is because, especially at times in our history, when resources were scarce, the earlier women mature, the higher the prospects are for the survival of our species. They will, however, wither earlier as well, because they flower earlier. Men with money and resources are more likely to attract women, and smart men who put out the effort and save money will only become more alluring to women over time. Men, on the other hand, are drawn to women because of their capacity for reproduction. The aging process can be compared to a game of poker full of deception and other types of misdirection, where both sides are involved. For example, if a man and a woman were playing poker in their early 20s, the man starts with 1 chip and the woman has 90. But by the time they are 35, he has 85 of those chips and she has only 6. Your financial resources have a significant impact on your status and alternatives in real life, just like in poker. More women than men that I'm aware of wasted their money rather than save it when they were young. They would go on trips, purchase shoes, have supper out a couple of times a week, and hang out a lot with their pals. When they are in their mid-30s, they would also spend a lot of money on makeup and cab fare. I've come across women who are deeply indebted from credit card debt and student loans, and are searching for a wealthy man to bail them out. Numerous women I know have openly admitted to me that they are looking for a sugar daddy to assist them in paying off their debts. For women, the aging wall can be a huge psychological blow. They say men age like wine and women age like milk. Men age considerably more slowly than women do, and once they are in their mid to late 30s, they are more willing to date a variety of 20-something women. As I said, the hookup culture is damning evidence that there's something wrong in Western societies. Maybe, and just maybe, it isn't as oppressive as people think to start having arranged marriages like they do in the East. Just some food for thought. That's it for today. Thanks for watching The Circle of Kings. As always, we're looking forward to your support. So please hit the like button, share this video with your friends, and subscribe to the channel to stay updated with everything all kings like yourself need to know.